now we completed our back area, give you a view of how it's looking in profile. Now we're going to continue into the front area, in this side area here, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to over-direct diagonal. So we're just creating, just think like a graduated bob in terms of what we're doing. So we're going to start with a diagonal forward section on the right side. So right now I'm just creating all of my silhouette to this bottom area, and then you'll see how we're going to go after the top area. Okay, so we're going to over-direct back. So now my over-direction point is going to be right to where that back side area ended, where they connected. That's where I'm going to bring everything to. And I'm going to continue to overlap. So I'm going to throw some length to the front, but then you'll get to see how I'm going to come back in and start to personalize that length in the front. And we just continue to over-direct back, diagonal forward, parallel sections. And each section extends itself longer. So now let's talk about this for a moment. Where I really want to affect this, make this graduation have some effect, is in this back area. You'll see how I'm going to come back in and adjust the entire side area in terms of length. But really what I'm working more is in this area here, just getting the graduation where I want it. And then you'll see how we're going to come back through and layer that top area out. So give me a lot of length in the front to kind of play with and work with. And then you can get creative with it and change it any way that you want. Consistency is important. The three basic movements that we work with are elevation, over direction, and finger angle. Be aware of the position of your finger. So right now, the position of my finger is diagonal. The finger angle is matching that. They're parallel and they're diagonal. So when we go through and we over direct, remember over direction is just simply a side-to-side movement. A simple thing to remember is whenever you want to maintain weight or you want to create length, just pull away from where you want the length, which is what I happen to be doing now. Continue to work to the opposite side now. Working diagonal forward and then maintaining the sections parallel as we move towards the front of the face. Continuing to move all the way to the front face frame area, keeping those sections parallel as we move forward. And then the over direction point was where that side transitions into that back area. So making sure, one of the things I'm trying to do is make sure that my fingertip sits right on top of that. Then just a matter of, remember what we've been doing, is we've just been extending the guide each time so that we're getting just slightly longer. And then just after you're done, just come back. If we need to rebalance anything, just come back and just rebalance what you need to rebalance from one side to the opposite side. And then we're going to get into our top area. And then we'll readjust our side area. Okay, so you can just see the shape that we've been created, just going through and just working with a triangle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to resection back from the side area to the back, and then we're going to start to work triangles into that top area by simply going through and creating a degree of shortness that works from short to long. So now let's just start thinking about the shag effect up on the top area here. So I'm just going through once again and separating where that side comes back all the way back to that corner. That's where I'm going to go here. Okay, then I'm going to come back on the opposite side. Repeat the same thing, same section on the opposite side. Okay, then I'm going to go down the center. Okay, so let's just talk about this for a moment. So we have a section down the center. Okay, then we separated our side from our back area. So now what I want to do is I just want to go in and take a diagonal back section here and a diagonal back section here. So when I do this, you'll see there's the triangle. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the same thing. I'm going to go diagonal back, in that top area from the top view. You can see that. I'm going to create a triangle here. So everything in this front side area is going to be elevated and cut diagonally, looking from a top view. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, same thing. So I'm actually going to cut a diamond inside of this top area. So let's start in the front area, and then I'll come back in and adjust my side area. But let's get rid of some of the length first. So there's my first diagonal back section, and I'm going to take this fairly short on the top. Okay, so I'm going to elevate right from that point, from where I'm at, I'm going to elevate this. So meaning that I'm going to take this and I'm going to be square standing to this, and I'm going to elevate this. Be aware of your degree of shortness inside. Every section that I'm taking is going to get longer. Now because this is a triangle, if we take a look at this, because it's a triangle and we have this happening, less mass of hair is getting short. More mass of hair as I take my diagonal sections down, bringing them up, are getting longer. So instead of me creating a horseshoe and going horizontal and keeping it square, I want to create something that just fans out, that goes from short to long. By working with thinking this as a triangle and elevating it up, you're getting less hair short, more mass of hair is getting longer. That's the concept behind this. So let's go through. Let's take our diagonal back section. Okay. Now I'm going to stand on the opposite side of that section. I'm going to come through and we're going to still use the scanning and the reverse graduation. So each section is just going to get slightly longer. And we're going to take this short on top. The degree of shortness on top, I would suggest that you base that degree of shortness. I'm just checking my angle to make sure that I'm on a diagonal. From the top view you can see that. But the degree of shortness on top, I think you get that a lot of times depends upon the personality. So it's just the personality that you're working with that can determine the degree of shortness that you take something on top. The other thing that I would suggest that you look at is the style of a client. You know, I think if a client is in a business suit, obviously I probably would take it short.